Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome back to the Chatroom Podcast. This has been an interesting 2020. 2021, we said we're going to do it bigger and better, and here we are to kick it off. So I am the Senator, and with me today is new microphone Dewayne. We got SA making his return.
Yes, sir. Finally, the Chatterbox is back to the Chatroom Pod. And I'm ready for season 2.
We also got, I was trying to find the best way to introduce this guy, but I'm just going to use what the Chatroom Pod put up on Instagram under his picture. Affiliate unknown, but probably from Yonkers.
That's another AKA for you, bro.
Yo, I saw that this morning. I was crying, man.
And we got Coach Francis coming back.
You mic too, man. What it is?
Sure. Yes,
That is true. But I already gave that name to Dewayne. So, gentlemen,
yes, sir.
How are you guys doing? How was your holiday? How was the time off?
It was good. It was really
Well needed rest. Just relaxing, yeah. Hunker down.
Got to watch some movies on Netflix, so I was very interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Netflix had some good hitters. Not just Netflix, though. Amazon Prime.
Low key.
Crave.
Low key. Amazon Prime.
They're stepping up, aren't they?
Yeah, low key. Yeah, like my biggest thing with Netflix is that it's so much stuff on there. It's good and bad. Like when you're looking for some random to watch, it's great because you can watch anything on there. When you're something specific to watch, and you can't, like, it's fucking so hard to find shit on there.
Yeah,
man. So hard, man.
Especially when you're choosing it with someone else.
Yeah,
Spend an hour just to find the show.
So yeah, definitely Amazon Prime is like my kind of like low key kind of thing to go to for sure.
I will say this, that over the break, I didn't stop recording because we were recording the Not So Soft, but they did not like the fact that we took a break and they didn't. So
I heard that.
So
that sounds like an in-house problem. We dropped the episode on Christmas. We dropped the episode on New Year's. Like, we didn't stop working. But what I will say is shout out to the Not So Soft podcast, because like I said, we are one family just working towards similar goals. So
facts.
I wanted to touch on a couple of things first, but before that, we want to say happy belated birthday to the Chatroom Podcast's own Jermaine. Celebrated it, and we knew that there's a good chance that he was not going to make it to this episode.
Yup.
95% chance.
Close right now, man.
He's not there right now.
If there was ever a time to do who most likely, and we all choose the same person, it would have been this episode.
I'll say count, bro.
the man with the crispiest lineup too, man.
Facts.
According to Cabby.
So let's jump into some stuff. But first, we want to thank all of our season 1 guests. We had so many guests. I don't even want to go down the list of everyone because we had so many. But all of you guys helped contribute to making this podcast continue the way how it is. And it also gave us the opportunity to kind of broaden our horizons of what we were discussing. It wasn't always just basketball. We started to talk about real estate. We started to talk about Canadians playing in the States, the culture change when it comes to there. We talked about verses. We got some great Kobe stories and how to kind of make it in journalism, and a lot of great advice were given out over the time. So we want to thank all of our guests from season 1, and we just look forward to doing bigger and better, and even having most of you guys back on for season 2 for a follow-up to see how things have changed over a year's time, right? So thank you to all of our guests.
And we got merch dropping.
We got merch dropping. I didn't want to bring that up until it was actually till we had it in hand. But we do got merch dropping. We are also changing up how we're doing a lot of the stuff. So you're going to see a lot of improvements, whether it's over our YouTube channel, our Instagram page, just our branding. A lot of stuff is going to be changing. So not the content. The content is still going to be amazing, still going to be stuff that you want to listen to. Just the overall look will have a different feel to it because we're all improving. So let's get into what people listen to us for. Basketball.
Let's go.
Now, I said this on numerous occasions, and I just want to jump back to this because this is the time to give Joseph his time to shine, right? There's certain times when we look at certain content and we know exactly who's going to take the lead. If it's Lakers, it's most likely Coach, and then MJ's there to kind of help. If we're talking Heat, we know for sure Jermaine is there. We're talking Raptors, we know for sure it's going to be Dewayne and SA. And then I'm kind of just there to put in pointers. But when we talk Paul George.
or George Paul.
We have
one. PS5.
And then
we have
way off
we have an expert.
We
have our senior Paul George commentator. So I want to give Joseph the opportunity to let us know how he felt watching the Christmas games.
Oh, the blowout. Oh man,
did you watch that?
The blowout game?
Come on.
Come on, bro. No, I was there.
He watched every second.
He didn't miss an opportunity.
Hold on, I want to make sure. I'm right. It was a Christmas game, right? Or was it days after?
No. Christmas Day. The Christmas Day Clippers beat the Lakers.
Yeah, Christmas Day he played how he should play.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, minus the pass out of bounds.
I was an anomaly, man.
Yeah, we're talking about the Dallas game.
I was talking about the Dallas game, but let's start with Christmas games.
Christmas game, he played well.
Yeah,
he played well. He had like a couple.
Played well. He
like
put
points.
LeBron to bed about playing
well. Let's slow down now.
He tucked him in. Put him to bed.
Let's not get crazy because 24 hours later, this guy's talking about championship hangover and all types of foolishness.
He's a championship man.
I need this guy to just play basketball.
He said Christmas Day hangover.
He said Christmas Day hangover.
Christmas Day hangover.
Yeah.
How much could they really be drinking?
So for people that don't know what we're talking about, Dallas and Clippers played on December 27th, I believe it was. And in our group chat, we saw a picture. And nobody actually wanted to open the picture. But once we opened it, we saw the score was 77-27 at halftime. Then we were like, okay, this is bad because this is like an NCAA Div 1 facing a Div 2 team, and that's what the score looked like. It was like the Wisconsin girls team playing a regular team. Like it was like that.
It's like Joe's versus pros, yeah.
Pretty much. So at halftime they were losing by 50. The end of the game they lost by 51 points. Now, a shocking stat came out that said shocking stat said that even if Dallas did not score a point in the second half, they would have still won.
That's fucked up.
Yo, how many points did PG-13 have that game?
Oh, well.
As a leader on the floor?
I don't remember the exact number. I remember he had less than 15, though.
It was like 13, I think.
Yeah 13. Yeah, his jersey number. So, I mean,
sounds about right.
This guy is just, before the season started.
He just signed that max extension, too.
Exactly. Well, I'm going to get to that, too. Before the season started, he tweeted out saying, yo, I got my old trainer back. It's over for everybody. All right. This is what he was saying. So I'm assuming it's his trainer when he was on Indiana or something.
Basics,
who the hell knows?
Playing 2K trainer. Yeah.
I don't know anymore. I just he's paid what, 190 for 4 years? 190 for 4 years? Is it 4 years? 190?
I think it was it 5 year? 5 year.
Like 190.
Yeah, 192
points. Kawhi is obviously their leader, I'm pretty sure. So he's out. You need to step up. You couldn't give me like 30 points. 30.
The biggest thing with Clippers is you don't know who the leader is. That's what
that too, right? Because even
they
just
don't have
now,
a
as
leader.
I said, Kawhi, I was like,
West.
is
you
he?
You don't know.
Because from what I'm hearing is they keep telling Kawhi.
Raptors.
Well, no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry was the leader.
Yeah,
Kyle Lowry
was the captain.
Kyle Lowry and they had barely Lowry. Van Vliet was a vocal leader for sure.
Yeah,
bench leader. Yeah,
Serge Ibaka, like all those guys are like veteran guys who have been there who are leaders for sure.
I just think
Kawhi is just like a mercenary.
Yeah,
basically.
I really think it comes down to because he doesn't talk.
Oh, like, exactly. Yeah. And like,
which is, we looked at it a few years ago, like, yo, he just comes to work and everything. But like, yo, there's like,
isn't this what we were discussing earlier when we had the signing, that the goal has to be now that Tyronn Lue has to be more of a vocal leader than anything else, because of the fact that Kawhi Leonard is just a mercenary. Like, he's there to play, and you can see the difference when he plays from when he doesn't play. You see the difference in the team, but they don't have an on-court leader.
If I was Clippers, I would have put all the money they had in the offseason to sign Rondo. So Rondo made 20 mil? I mean, for 20 mil with Atlanta, I would have gave Rondo like 15 mil a year. Something like that to get him with the Lakers, because as much as Ibaka helps him out, like stretching the floor, like I think Ibaka was a steal for them. He's a better fit for them than Montrezl Harrell, just because of his ability. Like, he's not a better player at this point in his career, but he's a better fit for that team because he's just the floor. And like he guards the rim and stuff like that. But I think they would have been equally as good signing Batum and having Rondo on that team, because now you can put Batum at the 4. You can have Rondo in as your leader, because Rondo would be that. He would be immediately the de facto leader on that team, and that I think that takes him further than what Ibaka brings to them, because you still have a leader on that team. So it's like still like you watch versus the Lakers game, they're up what was the Lakers game up? Or one game they're up by, I think it was the Lakers game. Yeah, they're up by Lakers game. And they're up by 25, and I'm like in the chat. I'm like, yo, how long do you think it's tied? I'm like, I know the game was to get back tied anyway. So but they don't have that person on the team where it's like, yo, nah, like, we're gonna take a good shot here, we're gonna get a good stuff here. They don't have that, right? And then
the adult, man, they don't have an adult on the team, man.
Well, could Rondo function with Patrick Beverley though?
They'd have to get rid of him
for sure. They'd have to get
you can't have those two, because like Rondo does what Patrick Beverley does, but at what he thinks he does at a higher level, and he's more successful at it.
Pat Beverley is very expendable. Like, he thinks he's not, but he's a very expendable.
He 100% is. What the hell? You can find a nigga that fouls for the YMCA.
I have a thought process on it. Do you guys think that if the Clippers should have tried to trade for Rubio? Because Rubio was on the block at one point, and I'm not saying it as far as him as a player, as a leader, right? But I'm saying as an on-court facilitator, what he's been able to do, especially like Phoenix last year. Yeah. He's not the leader of the team, but he can facilitate a lot better. He's not a Rondo, but he's way better at the point guard position than a Beverly. So I'm saying, like, if you couldn't get a Rondo at that point, at that price point, Rubio to throw in a trade for Rubio wouldn't have been a bad choice for them, just because of that on-court facilitation that they have. Like, you have a real actual point guard rather than.
Did they offer anything? Because didn't they sell the farm for
the
PG?
way I look at it, like the way I look at it, like, Rubio is a better fit than any point guard they have on their roster. That's fact. But he still doesn't address the problem. So it's like you're just trading oranges. So
But the thing is, as a coach, right? And I'm going to ask you as a coach, if you know that if you have the option of having somebody that you can actually put the ball in their hand to call out plays, they might not. It's better than having one of a non playmaker forcing to make the plays.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you can just quickly be like to Rubio, put up like a two peace sign, and they know exactly what that means, and they're like, all right, you go over there, right?
Yeah.
And start the facilitation. Wouldn't that be easier for you than having a person that can't facilitate like that and forcing them to play make? And we're seeing this in Toronto a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like with Siakam, we're seeing the same problem with Siakam. Siakam is forcing himself to try to be a playmaker. I watched yesterday him try to force an inside pass to Aaron Baines twice.
Yeah,
right?
bro.
And 2 turnovers back to back on the same type of play. And so I'm just saying, like, having Clippers having an actual on-court point guard, I think would actually help them a little bit better than having the Beverly that they have, right?
For sure. Like having Rubio. Okay, I speak as a coach and as like a GM. So for sure, having Rubio on your team over any point guard I have on the team, over Lou, over Jackson, over Ruby, over Lou, Will, Jackson, and who's the other
Beverly.
Guy? Beverly. So having Rubio on your team over those 3, you're better at. You're gonna get guys. Like you're gonna get like Paul George coming off the ball. You're gonna get Kawhi coming off the ball. Like you're gonna be better offensively, for sure. But I just don't think like I'm never a person that believe. Like I don't know. Like I just feel the cultural difference. Like you hardly ever see your leader of your team being somebody who's not from the U.S. Somebody who doesn't have that cultural impact on the team. So for like for instance, like when Dallas was winning the championships, winning the championship with Miami, their leader wasn't Dirk. Like he was the like on-court physical leader. Like that's what JJ was saying in the podcast. Ray was saying that, but their leader was Jason Kidd. Their leader was Jason Terry. Their leader was Sean Marion. Their leader was Tyson Chandler. Those were their leaders in the court, right? And you look at like Rubio. Like sure, he's a playmaker. He's gonna get guys the ball. Like he's improved. Like even his jump shot's gotten better. Like he's improved as a player overall, like the past few years. But he's not like you put him on that team, you might get a few shots here and there, but they're not a better team with that because they're worse defensively, right? And they still don't have a leader because Rubio's not going to come into that situation, and Paul George is not going to respect him.
Yeah, you need someone like a Chris Paul or somebody.
Chris Paul would have been perfect.
I was leading up to that, but like as a GM, like. I would either put all my money to Rondo and poach him from the Lakers, just like how they poached Harold. I would give him any money that I can offer him. I would give it to him because he takes me over the edge. Might not be Lakers, take over the edge. And then I would have tried to go after Chris Paul because he wasn't moved for a lot of pieces. You can move Beverly, you can move I don't know, like whoever else. And whatever other draft pick you can find in 2030, whatever draft pick you can
have a 2030.
Yeah, okay, but OKC has a time limit of when they want their draft picks. Okay, they want it up until 2027. They don't want it in 2030, right? So from mark OKC's words from now. 2027 and onwards, it's their years. Okay.
Yeah, but I would have tried to those are 2 players I would have tried to move whoever I get. Like obviously not Kawhi and not PG.
Yeah,
but I would try to move whoever I could to get one of those 2 on my team because I think CP3 would have been the perfect fit.
Yeah,
because offensively, defensively, he's a leader. He's respected. But if I couldn't get Rondo, I would have CP3. And after that, there's not many answers because what they need is very specialized. Like if they can get like a Kyle Lowry, sure. If they can get like I don't know who else like Lowry, CP3, Rondo. I don't know who else out there.
You know who would have been a good fit there? Thinking about what you're saying, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, right? But Milwaukee picked them up. DJ Augustine. Augustine
helps. Not he's undersized though. But he fits.
I'm saying for like a low player that they could have picked up because he's adding a spark to their bench. Like once he's playing on their bench, their second unit looks pretty.
He's a leader. He's a veteran. He shoots the ball. He would help. Who they picked up before. Like if I don't know what Milwaukee gave up to get Drew Holiday, but like players like that who are like respected. Who have offensively, defensively, like who are threats, that would have been perfect for them. Like, but DJ Augustine is a low budget thing for that. He would help out. Like
have that leader / talent specialty.
fit that mold. But yeah. There's not a person who have that mold. But if like the two players who I know who were on the market that they could have went after, I don't know if they did, but they could have and should have went after for sure. Like there's rumors about Chris Paul and rumors about Rondo. Like they should have picked one of them and just give everything they have and put everything into that basket, because Rondo went to Atlanta.
The Hawks. Random.
Like 20 mil. Like come on, like
so random.
But they are looking good right now.
And I'm smart. But what I'm saying is like they clearly at the end of his career, he's clearly looking for that last
the last payday.
So if I was Clippers, I would have gave him.
Throw the bag in,
and you would have been competing.
Hey, listen,
you would have been competing.
If you're gonna give Paul George a max contract after hitting,
exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
If you're gonna give Paul George a max contract after hitting the side of a backboard, I highly doubt you'll have the foresight to go after a decent point guard on a team that has no leader.
Facts. Like,
right?
That's facts.
And the crazy thing is, all his other teams, everyone's scared now. Nobody else is re-signing no max nothing. They're just like, okay, hold on a sec. Let's weigh our options. Kawhi's like, I'm just gonna see what happens.
I say the crazy thing is Kawhi can leave after this year.
Yeah.
I really think because when he looked at Paul George's situation, he's like, all right, I'm not gonna sign nothing yet. Let me see what happens.
That guy's not serious.
I will not reiterate my 2021 prediction. But for those that remember my prediction, just know that if you hear that Kawhi left after the end of this season, that what I predicted happened. Now let's move to something else that might be that was newsworthy. And I'm gonna ask Essay to start off with this one.
I know what's gonna happen.
No. It's not what you think. It's not what you think.
We're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there. But let's
all right, give me some room to breathe first before I get into the main event.
Yeah, okay. I wanna welcome you back the way how we always welcome back people, right? Give them an easy one first, and then we get into the tougher topics.
What? I'm curious now.
So COVID spread rapidly across America, and the first case in the NBA got a max contract of $205 million and became the third highest paid player. So what is your thought on the first COVID case in the NBA, the one that did not take it seriously, the one that gave his whole team COVID? The rumors came out that Donovan Mitchell and him were just not seeing eye to eye because Donovan Mitchell was like, I don't know how you don't take your illness seriously.
Yeah.
The sports world shut down after the NBA shut down for a while.
Yeah, yo.
Yep.
Do you think that
the world
because
shut down,
the world shut down, but I'm saying sports was when it shut down when NBA shut down. That's what everything said.
When the NBA said nah, that's when everyone's like,
the reality of the situation settled in when the NBA shut down the entire league.
Yeah.
So do you think that patient zero in the NBA, because he survived it and he made all the changes towards the NBA, he was the catalyst to all the changes across the sports world. He led the sports world to a whole new generation, a whole new era, a bubble. Like we never thought we'd see that before. Is that the reason why he got $205 million?
Let me say something. I am the last person to agree with Shaquille O'Neal. The last. Okay? I swear I've given him some shots on this very podcast.
You have.
I don't even know what did I didn't even
for
see
the
what
first
Shaq said
time,
about
I'm gonna agree with the mumble mamba, and say, you know, it's a thing when somebody gets awarded a max contract averaging 11 points a game. Like that is like, I don't just like, I don't see why giving Paul George a max contract. Like what happened in the bubble? Did somebody like lose a bet or something? Like, I don't understand what quantifies giving this mediocre, like he was good. I know he like this mediocre patient zero, as you will, who's so reckless that he infected and shut down the league. Bro. And his reward, just like Paul George was rewarded for hitting the side of a backboard, this guy's rewarded for shutting down the league
Max
with
contract.
Is that almost like a super max?
I got a follow-up question. But it's close to a supermax. But I got a follow-up question, and I want to ask Dewayne this.
Okay. 25, I think.
Next, you're gonna hear Siakam.
Do you think that Gobert walked into the owner's office and said, "Let's make a bet. If we lose this series against the Nuggets, you got to give me a max deal." And he was like, "You guys are up 3-1. There's no way you guys are losing this." And they lost. They lost this series, and he went up and said, "Yo, you remember that bet I told you about?"
What's up?
He threatened him. He said, "No matter what happens after this year, I need a max contract." I'm talking.
Nah, he said, "Yo, I'm carrying the altered strain of the coronavirus. If you want me to shut down the league again, y'all better give me a max. So we're gonna have the bubble part 2."
The funny thing is,
oh no, go ahead.
No, I was saying the funny thing is, like, what I was hearing was this was a big part of his max contract was the NBA basically, especially with all the new rules and the TV money and everything that happened last year. There was a certain amount, like every team was allotted a certain amount of money, and they actually had to spend the money. That's what I was hearing. So they had a certain amount of money that you had to spend. So that's why, like, a lot of players that are getting all this big money, you're thinking, why are they getting that? They had to spend. There was an actual spending minimum you had to spend, and you couldn't keep a certain amount of money in the books. You had to spend it. So right. I think that was one of the main reasons why they gave him as much as they did. It's like, we have nowhere else to put the money. We have to spend it on this guy. Man.
Oh, so it's like when you use a bonus code on a betting site, and they tell you, and you win, and they're like, "You can't take your money yet. You got to bet a certain amount of money before you can take it."
Gobert is the luckiest Frenchman alive.
Bro, man.
This guy shut down a league and got a max contract.
You know what's crazy?
For not even being like a max. Oh my God.
If they never gave him that money and he was like, "Yo, I'm going to try and go elsewhere," I don't even know who would pick him up. I don't even know who would.
Nobody's touching that with
a picked up. He's still serviceable. He'll get picked up. He'll get picked up. He's still serviceable. There's still a lot of bad teams in the league. He'll get picked up.
No, but not even that. But
and even good teams.
There's places that can use his services, like long, athletic, big who protects the rim. So like
he'd probably.
The Raptors would have picked him up. We would have picked him up.
We could have used him.
We could use a guy like that.
Bro, we already had
right now
Lonnie Baxter.
You want Aaron
we already
Baines?
had Lonnie Baxter like
I'd
10
rather
years
go
ago,
over Aaron Baines. I'm sorry.
Huh?
You disagree with that?
I don't know what to disagree with anymore.
Okay,
they're both equally bad.
Okay, let's get into that. Let's get into that.
The man's an all-star. Gobert's an all-star.
Stop. You know, damn
welcome back, Essay. Welcome back, Essay. Welcome back, Coach. Welcome back, Joseph. Welcome back, Dewayne. We are because it's a setup. Let's get into that. Let's transition into that because I only brought up the Golbert thing because I just thought it was funny.
We need a little laughter before what we're about to get into.
Before Essay takes over the podcast.
Yo, man.
This time.
So Raptors season has not started off the way how people thought Raptors season was going to start off. One of the only win so far at the time of recording is the one game when Siakam had to sit. Siakam was told to sit out because he didn't meet expectations for the one day.
What you mean the disciplinary? The
disciplinary one. It was because Nick Nurse came out and said he didn't meet like some of the stuff that were supposed to be required before games. So
he said that he walked off the bench
for walking off. I thought,
there was multiple. Nick Nurse came out one. There's other reports, right?
Feels like a Canadian answer, but
the one probably the one game was without him playing. what are your thoughts on the Raptors so far? And what do you think that they need to do to change? I will say that one of the the shining part of the Raptor season, even though there's not much to talk on, is the progression of Chris Boucher.
Yes.
I believe that
himself.
He's earning that money. He's earning that money.
I believe what him defensively, him running the court, him being more confident to shoot, him trying to finish over everybody, like he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Should be doing.
What's Siakam?
I could have went on the trigger.
At this rate, he might be.
No. I'm saying he should be starting over Baines. Like they should have like Chris Boucher. Him, Chris, Siakam. Like that should be your starting bigs. They can both spread the court. They can both move. Like,
and he's long.
Yeah,
gets in the passing lanes.
Yeah, like
I want to experiment more with this. Not starting Splenda P. But go on. Sorry, I cut you.
I think the starting five should be those two bigs, OG, Van Vliet, and Lowry. That's their best five. And then like Norm here and there. But the only thing with Norm is that like he's so inconsistent.
Yeah.
You don't know where you're like. So like you want to start him at the 3 because he offensively he gives you more of a threat than OG.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you don't want to put him. You want to start at the 3 because one game he'll have 25, other game he'll have 2 points.
And OG will go the whole game with like he'll go 3 quarters with only getting like picking up 2 fouls.
Yeah.
And his defense is good. Like Norm will come into the game and get 2 fouls within the first 2 minutes, and then you're like, all right, cool. All right, now we gotta sit you back out. Like we can't give you quality time. Right?
I almost feel like he's fouling on purpose to stay out of the game.
Of like 30 the next game.
The next game have like 30 in like 20 minutes.
Like,
it's tough. Like he's so like I want to believe with him because he's had really good stretches for the Raptors in playoffs, even season 2. But like he's just not somebody you can consistently say, okay, we're gonna put him in starting 5, and he's undersized, so it's like it's tough.
Yeah. Here's my thing about this. We know Siakam's struggling. We know the reason why he's struggling. Siakam is not a guy that he shouldn't be the focal point. He's a guy that should be running around without the ball, gets like, and you look for him. He's a guy that running through screens. Like he's not a person that should be having the ball at the top of the key and kind of making decisions or trying to figure out, okay, let me go ISO. That's not who he is, and we know that.
Yeah, Jason.
The problem. So we know his issue. The problem with me is outside of Norman Powell is Terrence Davis. Terrence Davis, we know the off-court issues he's having. I get that. Yeah. That could really psychologically mess you up because we don't know what's going to happen to him in the next few months when he goes on trial. We have no idea. Yeah. So he's probably got a lot of that in his head, which is why he's struggling. But Nick Nurse needs to understand these things and say, hey, Malachi Flynn, he was playing great for us. Let's see what he's got. Why aren't we playing Malachi Flynn? I think Malachi Flynn needs a shot. To me, from what I've seen, really solid player, very smart basketball player, can shoot the ball. I think he looks like he's a better shooter than Terrence Davis, to me. Yeah. He shoots it more consistently. Why not give him a shot?
You have
nothing to lose at this point, right? You have nothing to lose at this point.
I mean, it's still early.
That's what I'm saying. You have nothing to lose right now. It's still early. It's not like we don't know how the season's gonna go.
It's tough because as a coach, like I get what you're saying, but you don't want to what you don't want to happen is you don't want to pull the plug from Terrence Davis early in the season, and then you put Flynn in, and then say 40 games down the road, Flynn's not playing well, and you got to put Terrence Davis in, and now his confidence is shot.
Well, here's my response to that though, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it's very important the fact that Dewayne said that there's off-court situation. Now, if you're still playing him and his confidence is low and his mind's all over the place, and we don't even have him available in 40 games, you need to have somebody else that has the confidence to actually play.
Facts.
It's not the same as if there was no off-court situation. But because there is that, there's no guarantee of how long that player is Davis is going to be with the team. We don't know what the result of all that's going to be. So why wouldn't you got to put your trust into the players that for sure will be around for the season. That's what I think.
I'm
not a coach, but I'm saying that's the thing.
I mean, that's a valid point, but like you can't, like, it's tough to put an unproven rookie in the game to start of the year. Like he had a short training camp. He hasn't
rhythm,
really built rhythm with the team. He hasn't built confidence with the team. So where he's gonna get his rope per se, like where he's gonna get his minutes and stuff is gonna be in practice, competing in practice, showing up on time. That's where he's gonna get the bulk of his stuff. Even though he played well probably preseason, but where he's gonna get the bulk of his rope and the bulk of his confidence from is gonna be coming to practice and competing, and then not like, for instance, like watch the Lakers, like with THT. Like, Frank Vogel has been raving about this guy from last year, saying, he's busting LeBron's ass. Like, he's going at this guy, and then you see him come out like 3 20-point games, and now he's at the end of the rotation right now because he's got like guys playing, like Kuzma playing well, you know what I mean? But like his confidence is higher right now. Like, I forgot where I read it on like Bleacher Report, but somebody said that like if you put THC on any other team in the league, average 15 points a game. That's crazy, right? So like
a young team, I could definitely see him.
Like I don't
personally because he'll get minutes.
I don't personally see that, but like one of an unnamed GM said that he put him on any other team in the league. He could put
I could see like 15, and then like it goes up like gradually. 15
my thing just to circle back to like Raptors, right? You guys mentioned a lot of good points. The thing is, Nick Nurse is in love with whatever lineup he has, right? Like we saw it in the bubble, we saw it in our playoff run. Like why does it take disciplinary measures to bench Siakam? I don't get why we were in the beginning of the season. Yes, it's only 5 games deep. We have 67 more games to go. But I think at this point, obviously what you're doing is not working at this point. So switch it up instead of bench Siakam even more. If Siakam is not earning his minutes, then bench him longer, right? Give players more minutes because he's sticking to this like 8-9 guy lineup. Even in the fire, like even when it's time to like give garbage minutes, it's like he doesn't want to give the other players minutes, and I don't know what it is, but overall, my opinion on the Raptors right now, it's not like spicy. Was it Splenda P got a big contract? He's not playing to the level that we're paying him. OG stepping up, Van Fleet stepping up, right? Yeah. But Siakam, everybody's saying like, Kyle Lowry had that game against Orlando and he came back. I'm not seeing that hunger. I'm seeing a bunch of words, but I'm not seeing that hunger. I'm not seeing that drive. Yes, he's not the guy. So we need to adjust so he's not the guy. We need to go back to like more team-focused basketball.
Ball
right?
movement, man.
Or
try to get ball movement, yo.
That's what I'm saying. But you can't force him to be the guy. It's not going to work. Right, like, and we need to kind of wake up and realize that, like, it is what it is.
Theory, man, and I think I feel like it was the same thing that Coach said in the group. Like he said it kind of subtly, but I feel like we're gonna do some type of move. Like we're gonna move someone or some people we have to at some point this season because a friend of mine brought this up. Who like he loves the Raptors, but he brought up a huge thing. He's like, Joe. Like if we don't get it together within the first like 20 something games, he's like, yo, we're not even going to make the playoffs. There's no crowd. We're not in Air Canada Center. We don't have Ibaka, like a stretch big, who I really didn't realize how important he was until now. I'm like, yo,
you're seeing it. Yeah, you're seeing
this
it.
guy Ibaka was like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
He's like just look at how the playoffs were and how the season is now. It's like we're 2 different teams. Yeah. Like
the games,
you gotta make a move, man.
What we've seen is, what's his name actually was shooting the 3 pretty good once he had the chance to in that New York game. Alex Len, he was actually confident in pulling the shot. Aaron Baines is not Ibaka. He's not Gasol.
No. Yeah,
he doesn't.
Like that.
Yeah, and he will miss out on rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
He misses out on a lot of rebounds. So we lose on a lot of second chance points. And you see the difference when Boucher's in there, because Boucher will, even though he's a skinnier guy, he's still confident to go up and go for that ball. Where Aaron Baines at times will try to tap it out, he's not. It's not. It's like playing with that player in rec where you get annoyed because you know they can get the rebound, but they're like,
when the guy's like 17
I don't get what he's afraid about.
Just
what's he afraid of? He's the most polarized player in the league. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Dunked on by everybody.
Bro.
So what are you afraid of now?
Like,
you know,
saying.
Everybody has getting polarized in their room, so you're good.
What? Yo, if I was a big and every other game I was getting boomed on, I would have no fear. I'm going for every block, every rebound. Yo, I'm trying to dunk on every. What? He just needs to be one of those reckless white guys who just don't care.
We will thank DeRozan because he dunked on Boucher last year, and Boucher's confidence has gone up ever since then. He's like, I don't care about anybody dunking on me. I'm going up against anybody. And
you're big, man.
And there was a theory going around, and this is just a double back on something that we were just talking about, was that Raptors sent allowed Ibaka to go to Clippers to turn it into WWE because
why that people's elbow, man.
He created Leatherface, man.
Stupid.
Man's a
double agent.
Dewayne. People aren't stupid. His mask was stupid. Okay,
his mask. He got the Bill and beer mask, bro.
He looked like Hannibal Lecter when he was locked up, man.
I was saying, who wore better, Kawhi or Mick Foley?
Mick Foley.
Mick Foley, man, 100%.
That's legendary. You know what I mean?
They couldn't get this guy the Rip Hamilton mask. Like, damn, bro.
Like I'm the prototype Iron Man 1.
2021, bro.
Husband choice.
That's some no name. That's some no name.
Yeah,
he had the exclusive New Balance masks.
I was just about to say that. That's a New Balance. New Balance made that for sure. We got a prototype.
He's like that one.
That's probably going to be on the website this year.
That's opposite. Like he got that on like the fake eBay. That's the unbalanced.
Oh, he got it from Wish.
That's the unbalanced. Unbalanced.
God,
being the type of person that I could see Kawhi being, it was like that mask came. That mask was used to hold the shoes that he got from New Balance, and he was like, "Yo, you know what? Let me rock this right here. This is style."
I want that one.
Yeah.
I just to kind of say one more thing on the Raptors. Yeah. One thing I did see, I got kind of like some PTSD flashes because I saw flashes of the old Raptors. I saw flashes of the drop in the third quarter or coming out flat in the second half. We had a double-digit lead in every game that we dropped, and then like kind of like last minute rally in the fourth quarter that doesn't go anywhere. Like I saw flashes of the old Raptors, and I think Nick Nurse needs to let go of the lineups that won us the championship and start like reformatting some things, right?
Yeah, that's not our identity. We need a new identity now because that team is gone.
We look like we have no identity right now. That's the problem.
No.
But it's hard. I can understand it being hard for him too, just because of the fact of you have your first year as head coach, you win the championship. Yeah. The second year as head coach, you win coach of the year. Was it coach? No, he won coach of the year the first year. It was Mike Budenholzer.
It was the
did he win?
Bucks coach.
No, it was Nick Nurse that won last year because Kawhi, because Lowry and
Budenholzer won the coaches. The coaches to come.
Yeah. So Nick Nurse won coach of the year last year. Also, team was second in the East. I think they were third overall in the NBA.
Yep.
Right. So so going into the first couple of games, you're gonna rely heavy on those people that still
that got you
to that point, right? But the thing is, you got to look at certain things, and from the first game, I noticed some changes. One, is Lonzo Ball plays better when he faces the Raptors because that guy shoots way more confidently. I'm like, I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm not mad at Brandon Ingram scoring points. I'm not mad at Zion getting calls because Zion's just, even though he hasn't played like enough games to be a superstar, he gets superstar calls.
Yeah,
right?
Zion Lay.
It's true.
Zion,
but Lonzo all of a sudden can just Lonzo is not even like
back to back.
It's just switch, just like confident. I'm like, yo, what is happening right now?
Because we're a Canadian team.
You want to have a career night? Come play Toronto. You want to have a career night?
Americans have a universal hatred for the Raptors for Toronto.
It's like,
please, yo.
But what I'll say is, there's few players that I think needs a little bit more playtime. And I think Boucher, I think I understand why he has him coming off the bench because he needs that spark to come, because that's what Boucher is. He's a spark player. Like, if you take him off, Aaron Baines isn't going to give you the same energy like the second unit or even a boost to the starting unit like Boucher will. But I think a player like Thomas, because of what his specialty is as a gunner, like that will help spread the floor. And because like he barely played when they start losing leads, they don't put him in until they're like down by like 12 points, and then he comes in, hits 3 threes, and then they take him out. So it's like it's like that thing. So him, I could I'm liking the play of Stanley Johnson. I think he's actually playing pretty decent. He's just not defensively. He's not OG. So he needs to calm down on some of the fouls. And like it's just, and Norm just needs to be consistent. If we have consistency out of like that and small changes, it makes huge difference to the way how the team plays. Because you're relying on Powell to come in to do stuff, then he fouls and can't play again till the fourth quarter. You're like, all right, what's the point, right? Like now we already lost the lead. Like our starting just played the full third quarter and started the fourth. Like it's crazy. But let's move on. Let's talk about our predictions, because we haven't made any predictions this year. We're 3 weeks in now. About 3 weeks in.
Yeah.
So let's say, who do you guys have for MVP?
Isn't it
LeBron or Luka? I don't know.
I was leaning towards Luka.
Yeah. I feel like, especially because Porzingis not going to be there this whole year, I'm guessing.
Okay. Well,
he's supposed to be back. He's supposed to be back.
They said he's healthy, but they're not rushing. Like they said that
they're taking their time with him. Yeah,
he's in practice and stuff. He's in practice, but they're not putting him in.
Okay, maybe like playoffs or a little bit before playoffs.
No, he'll be back before that.
He'll come in probably like the half mark, I think. The half year mark.
The shortened season is like throwing me off because I think the months are like. I think either him or if they ever get their shit together, like Steph Curry will be in the running, but I don't know if they're gonna get their shit together.
Not with what they got.
No. Hey, listen, I'm just saying.
I didn't want to touch on the Warriors situation because I think that we still have.
We use that for another episode.
Let's leave that one. It's an ongoing.
Do you think they're done?
Yo, can we?
No. But there's certain players that we might need to discuss the way how we discuss. Hey. We might have to do a player highlights to start off. Because the next one we know exactly who we're talking about.
Is it too crazy to throw in KD possibly?
No.
KD?
It's not crazy.
Or Kyrie?
Not Kyrie.
No, KD.
I mean, Kyrie's balling, but
no, they're both playing well. But that's like we know what those two are going to do when they're healthy on the court. The only problem is that KD's coming off of a big injury, and Kyrie doesn't play a full year. So like it's tough to say.
My money's on Luka, but
I think
I wouldn't be surprised if I saw KD in the match.
I think it would be Luka or Harden. I mean, or James, like you guys said, LeBron. But if there's one thing that an overweight player can show you, is that he can still dropped 44 and 17. So Harden, if Harden works his way back into shape at the same time while the season goes on, you might see him actually hit like 50 points a game the way how he's been playing. So
I mean, back to LeBron, like I can see LeBron getting it just because his numbers are always the same. So like his numbers not gonna he's not gonna be a 20 and 25 and like a 20.5 rebound 5. He's gonna be like a 26, 7, like that. His numbers are always gonna be the same. And Lakers are gonna win, so he's always gonna be in the conversation. But I think because Giannis winning it the last 2 years, being bounced out playoffs the last 2 years, I think he's out of the running this year. Even like, unless he has like a 30, 20, and 10 year.
Yeah, and like they go to the finals.
No, I don't think the NBA wants to egg on their face 3 times in a row.
Yeah. Even besides that, unless he has like a historically
they have to have like a record-breaking season.
90% from free throw, bro.
Yeah, like I think he's out of this. I think LeBron by default he's always top 3, top 4 in voting. So I think he's gonna be there by default, and Lakers gonna be winning. So I think he's gonna be there by default. But I don't think they're gonna give it to Lakers with AD being there as well. But I can really see LeBron being MVP this year. But
I think that's the trade-off for what LeBron does with building his teams, right? It's like you can't fight to get like the biggest, baddest team you can and fight for MVP because that's always going to be there. That you're here because you have a great supporting cast, right? Like a top of the line, almost borderline illegal supporting cast. So I have no hatred towards LeBron. I have hatred towards the Lakers, but we're being realistic. To allow LeBron to build that team and get MVP when he's probably not going to be the same assist record that he had last season. His numbers are probably going to dip a bit. He's going to have limited play because of how quick the season started. I think he'll be in the mentions for sure, but if he gets it, that's going to be very polarizing, I think, with everything considered.
I think Luka's going to get him.
Luka's the safest bet and the more.
And their team got a lot better. The Mavs, like their bench, they got a lot better.
And they added James Johnson for defense. So next one, let's move to the rookie of the year. Who do you guys have?
Sorry, guys. I'm not going in that right now. My favorite thing is game right now.
Rookie of the year.
Who's the dude that New York
picked up? James Wiseman.
He's a big fucking dude, bro.
Obi Toppin.
Oh yeah, Toppin.
But I heard he got sidelined.
Obi Toppin is the big.
He's out now. Yeah.
No. I was just
out for how long?
His name.
No, a couple games. It was like like a strain or something like that. They said
he should win either him or
Wiseman. Wiseman's looking pretty solid.
I can run the floor and stuff. Yeah,
I think Wiseman is the best player and the best bet to win, but I just don't know if the Warriors are going to be enough to be like to have them win. Right? But like Rookie of the Year is kind of one of those awards where you can win 10.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year is not MVP. Yeah.
But it's an individual. It's an individual thing. Yeah.
So, it's way more individual than what MVP is.
Your team doesn't have to be good.
You can legit win 10 games and be in the running. So I think Wiseman has a good shot at it.
Anthony Edwards too.
But I don't know. Like I don't know how he's that so high. Cause I don't see him as that kind of guy. Like I've been watching him play, and I'm like,
did you watch him in college?
No, I didn't.
He's an athletic guy, and he can shoot.
Man.
He's a solid player, but he was always undersized to me. I just thought he was an undersized guy.
I will say I like his confidence, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why when I was saying, I was like, yo, just anyone that see him play, like, nah, he's
well, not necessarily him playing, but like,
that's how he is, man.
Interview where we're asking him like, yo, like, what sport do you play as any sport?
Yeah, yo.
Like, oh shit, okay, cool.
Cross, hockey. This guy's like, I'll play any sport.
Any of them. Saying he died to clean up. You know what that means, right?
Yeah, man. He's sick.
I say, who you got? You were saying OP?
I was, but I think I'm more towards Wiseman because OP's health. You know, I don't know if he'll like he might have the same issues as Zion had, where he might be sidelined a little more often. Whereas Wiseman looked like he might see the full stretch of the season. So I'm thinking more towards Wiseman. But I do think if Obi stays healthy, he's definitely in that talk.
You don't think Ball has a chance?
He's my dark horse.
LaMelo?
Yeah, Melo.
He already got Shaq'd in a fool, so
bro, he can play.
He did. To me right now he's just a kamikaze like type player. He doesn't really know how to play basketball just yet. It's kind of learn as you go type of thing.
They're giving him, especially because he's
a creative player.
Yeah,
so but like he knows how to like. You can tell he can play, man. He just has to get confidence.
That's it. Like, he doesn't know the NBA game just yet. That'll take time. That'll take time.
Yeah.
Hornets didn't give him any help, man. Like, you have he is a ball dominant lead guard. That's what he is, the lead guard. And for Hornets to draft him, they have 3 ball dominant lead guards on that team. It was like,
I will say something towards that what you said, Coach, because I totally agree with you. What I will say is that Rozier, he was nervous last year when Graham started playing amazing. And then they picked up Ball and they saw the hype around Ball and stuff. Yeah. Rozier went out and started hooping.
He went nuts.
Gary Terry.
You're not gonna come here and take my job.
Terry.
That goes off.
All right, so right now you have LaMelo playing in a position where he's never really played before. He's playing as a third guard right now.
Yeah.
He never really played like even the highlights, like he's in the corner spotting up the threes.
Yeah.
That's not what LaMelo is. Like LaMelo is put me on the ball, come on, pick and roll, let me play in transition. Like you see all the highlights for the Raptors, all in transition. That's where he like you put him in that. And you put him around like I think he would have been better on Golden State personally. Like
a lot of people thought they were gonna
transition game. The transition game.
Yeah, just you take step off the ball, you allow him to push the ball like even better there. But I think him being on Charlotte, like sure it looks good on paper. You got LaMelo at 6'7", can be a other guard, but like it doesn't fit. And then you got like PJ Washington.
Who's their coach?
MJ. Sorry,
no. Is that?
My bad.
It's not.
I can't remember what their coach is for the life of me.
Is it Giano? Like I know.
It's not Giano.
I know they have Nathaniel Mitchell as assistant coach. He's Canadian. I know they have assistant coach, but like I don't know the coaches.
I cannot remember their coach.
It's not Styles, right? Styles, right?
No.
I don't know where that man is. I don't know where that man is. Scott Skiles.
Yeah.
James
Borjal.
Who the hell is that?
I wouldn't even have known. Is he new?
He doesn't.
He doesn't be new.
Yo, I think this is the guy that's been coaching them like since like from that Heat series with Purple Shirt Man. I think he's been the coach since then, bro.
Who the hell's Purple Shirt Man?
There's I
thought this was an inside joke. I'm like, yo, I thought one of y'all gonna
about to get an NBA heritage
moment. That because Mayor definitely knows who Purple Shirt Man because he was the guy that during the Hornets and Miami series was screaming at D Wade every home game. And D Wade hit like a 3 and like grilled him and walked back to the bench to eliminate Charlotte. Just type in D Wade Purple Shirt Man, you'll see all the highlights, bro.
Wow.
It's
okay.
This is another NBA heritage moment brought to you.
I don't know anything about Charlotte because no one paid attention to that team. The team is
I know. Other than Mike, MJ, and now Ball and
he's been there since 2018.
He's been a head coach in 2018.
Okay.
With the Hornets, so that's what
that organization is.
This is his third year.
Yeah. So I mean. Yeah, I mean,
back Jordan, I might as well just play myself.
Most of Jordan's footage is him just shaking his head, crossing his arm. So most of the footage I see of him in that team, and smacking players in the back of their head.
Well, yeah, back to rookie of the year. There's no. I guess this was one of the weakest drafts in a long time.
I agree.
There's no bona fide star.
It's not clear cut.
You even
it's also the first like COVID draft.
But yeah, true. But like even as another that number one pick, like nobody knew who was maybe number one pick. Like usually you say, okay, at least number one is going to be like, okay, it could be KD, could be Greg Oden.
Well, it was between the two. Like all mock drafts had it between LaMelo and Anthony Edwards. Most mock drafts had it Wiseman going to Golden State. Like coming up until on draft day, it was Wiseman going second, and LaMelo and Anthony Edwards were always like back and forth. They were flipping. I was not shocked when Wiseman got picked up by Warriors because I think that's what I think it fits. I think the way how that guy shoots he shoots very confidently.
Bro,
and
you know his like, measurables, like he's like 7 feet tall with a 9'6" reach.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, what?
And I'm saying if you're looking at what they were thinking going into the draft of having Steph and Curry and a healthy Draymond. I'm sorry, Steph and Clay, a healthy Draymond, a healthy Anthony Wiggins, and a James Wiseman, and then once Clay got injured,
they have to retweak everything.
They retweaked everything, but they still are thinking of the team that they because that team will still be there next year.
Yeah.
Right. So it's let's give this a run because I think they had their mind on Wiseman. I don't think they were going to go for a guard. I think they were going for a big, regardless. And the way how Wiseman's been playing, I could see him winning Rookie of the Year.
Nah, he's skilled.
Yeah, I think LaMelo is. I wouldn't even put him as a dark horse right now, just because of the points that were said earlier, and it hinders his game. It really hinders his game. So,
growing pains, yeah.
I don't know. I'm just gonna go Wiseman. We'll do one more, and then I have this or that question for you guys. Just one though. We're not doing a bunch. Just one. And
are we gonna address that topic I've been meaning to?
Let's get into that. Let's do that right now.
Okay, so here we go.
I'm gonna allow SA to introduce it, and then we're just gonna talk. And then what the plan will be for our listeners is we'll choose next week. We're gonna do two more, whether it be Coach of the Year and Eastern Conference Finals or stuff. So for our listeners, get your list ready too, so that once we put up the episodes, you can give us your input too. So right now, just once you hear this, just let us know who you have for Rookie of the Year and for MVP. Essay, over to you.
Yes, sir. All right, so we're living in unprecedented times, but I'm not gonna. It's the last time I'm gonna use that word in 2021. But back in 2020, theaters were shut down, and certain blockbuster films had to adjust. And one in particular that everybody was waiting for, long awaited, that got delayed a few times. I was anticipating this was Wonder Woman 1984. Okay.
Or dub H4, depending on how you saw it.
I want to use the word dub with this one because it was a straight floppas, man. Like this was bad. It made me realize that Gal Gadot is not a great actress. She's not. I'm sorry. She's gorgeous, but she can't act. And I think the allure and the hype of the first Wonder Woman covered up the fact that she can't act, because watching back the first Wonder Woman after seeing the debacle of WW84, I'm like, wait a second, I've been fooled, I've been hoodwinked and bamboozled to think this woman.
That's why I don't want to watch the second one. I want to just remain in ignorance. Dwayne's just shaking his head. Yo, that's logical.
The entire film was a hot mess. And DC, like, I didn't think a film would be worse than Suicide Squad. Boy, did 2020 have a surprise for me. This film is atrocious, okay? I don't want to hear any feminist takes. It's nothing to do with that. It's a bad film. The best parts in this film are in what's her place? Themyscira? It's not even Gal Gadot. It's a little child. It's little Diana. That's the best part of the film, and that's like 30 minutes. The rest is just hot garbage. Okay,
right.
Mandalorian couldn't save it. Christian Wiig couldn't save it.
I agree.
Anyways.
All right, I said this on the Not So Soft Pod, and I'll say it here. The scene that really got to me, where I was like, "This is dumb," was they walked into. Spoiler alert! And if you haven't watched it at this point right now,
I haven't, but I might watch it. Like
we are doing we're doing you.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm selling you on the fact that you should watch it. Because Chris.
All right, sell me.
Oh, no, I'm not saying it because I thought it was a good movie.
No, I know.
I'm selling it as we all need to laugh as a family. Yeah. Us, our listeners, they need to listen back to this and be like, yeah, all right, cool. I know exactly what they're talking about. But there was a scene and where they're like, they need to get on a plane.
Oh, God.
And she swiped her government-issued ID that has her name that pops up in the computer.
Okay.
They go to take the plane. The plane takes off, and that's when she realizes that she can focus and turn the plane invisible. Now,
first try.
Here's where I was like, okay, this is really pushing it. They know who took the plane now because he swiped your actual ID.
I was about to ask. I was like,
but she showed up to work after. And nobody arrested her. I was like, wait, what?
Nobody does
Damn.
What?
Or how every action scene she walks in like it's a Maybelline commercial. We're gonna talk about that. Or cover girl commercial.
To watch this movie right after.
Listen. Okay.
I am doing you like I'm trying to save you, bro. Like it was a waste of time.
I think Dewayne will save it for everybody.
No, just listen. Okay, this is from what I heard. This is what they were saying. So Sean, I don't know who's the lady that runs DC now. That new lady that they got.
Oh my God, I don't know her name, but I know who you're talking about.
There's a woman that runs DC. Basically, in the first Wonder Woman movie, the writers and so forth that they had, she fired everybody. She let everybody go. All the original writers gone.
For the most successful film.
She brought in some new guys or whatever that she trusted and said, listen. And apparently this new writer, he had a flop before this movie. And for some reason, I can't remember the guy's name, but for some reason she said, you know what? I like you. You're hired. She took this guy and whatever people he brought in to make this movie. The logic when everyone was looking at it was, why would you get these people? Like, you fired the people that had a pretty nice formula with the first Wonder Woman. There was a pretty good formula. The writing was what saved the movie, I think.
Yeah.
And made it successful.
Yeah.
But for this movie,
fact that she's attractive.
Yes.
Like people are gonna watch it because she's attractive, but then the actual writing, it didn't come across like a DC movie, and that's a problem. That's the issue.
That's what
DC.
I'm getting to. She doesn't know the source material. She said she doesn't. She's like, I don't read comics. I don't know what any of this stuff is.
Wait,
the main director? No, not the director. The lady that's in charge of these.
The head of Detective Comics.
Comics. She basically she doesn't know anything about comics. She doesn't read comics. She doesn't know the source material. So the writer she brought in, he doesn't know the source material either. He never read the Wonder Woman comic. They had no consultants for Wonder Woman on this movie, not one.
If you want to know what that's called WWEing it. Because Vince McMahon. So for people that don't understand that reference, I'm still a wrestling fan, and I'll always be a wrestling fan for life. But Vince hires soap opera writers that has not watched the product to write the shows, and they write word for word scripts, and the athletes the performers have to read the memorized scripts and can't alter it, which is why the storylines are always so horrible, or some of them don't ever end, because by the time they're supposed to reach the ending, he fires the writers and brings in a new sets of writers. So now they're picking it up, and the storylines just don't end. And that's been the problem with WWE, and that's been the problem. That was the exact problem with this movie. Like,
that's what I'm calling it from now on, Blunder Woman.
I don't know the source material.
I don't even know if people knew about this, but like there was a big thing that they didn't even put in the movie with Max Lord. I don't know if I should say it. Does anyone care at this point?
No, just go.
But basically, the scene in the scene for this type of for this material was, she actually snaps Max Lord's neck. But the reason why
Superman?
they didn't want to put it in this movie because they already used it with Superman, which they weren't supposed to use it back then. I don't know why they used it for that movie, but that's
the only good thing about, anyways.
But the snap neck scene that was supposed to be for this arc. She was supposed to snap Max Lord's neck, and then everyone was looking at her like, "Oh my God, you're a killer!" Like it was supposed to change the way everyone looked at Wonder Woman. But
instead of that,
she made up her own movie.
The lasso speech at the end, where
I forgot
it was
that.
like a 3-minute monologue.
I've heard about this speech, bro.
First of all, I will tell you this. This is
it's really bad.
Joseph, my 2021 gift to you. I don't know if you've watched the movie yet, but here's my 2021 gift.
I have to now.
Once you get to that scene, just mute it.
Just fast forward. Just mute it. Yeah.
Just look at her. Okay, just don't worry about anything else. Yeah, don't worry about anything else.
And the thing that pisses me off the most about all this is I went out of my way to like look for the movie.
Yeah,
I got it early, and I'm like, yo, I'm watching it first.
I remember.
I was hyped about it too.
I was like, yes, yo, I'm watching Wonder Woman on my projector, like, and I'm like, yo, I was putting it on my story.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was hyped, man.
Yo, there was no Dewayne. At times, we might never know the excitement level that Dewayne's feeling when it comes to certain things. But he was excited to watch this movie, and he was excited when he got his new microphone, right? And we're like, all right, cool. But at least he got a gift that he could actually be happy with.
One let him down and one turned him up.
Because I messaged in our group chat after, just like, what was your thought on the movie? And then he brought up all the points that he brought up now to kind of alter like how you think about watching the movie. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going in with a different expectation.
Yeah,
and still thought it was crap. Then I had to watch another movie that we'll talk about later that Coach referred everybody to watch, and we're not going to talk about it now.
Nope.
Once we talk about this movie,
we'll get to that.
Can I just say?
Not trying to ruin my relationship.
Can I just say? I wanted to say
Tyler Perry slander. Yo, sign me up.
I apologize, Senator, for what you have to do when I say this, but fuck you, Coach, giving us that movie to watch. Okay,
trying to set me up.
What the hell you trying to do here, man? Trying to start off the new year right.
The worst part was the man waited till like right before New Year's and told everyone to watch it with their girl. Like he didn't want them going into 2021 happy. He was like, "Yo, if 2020 is gonna end anything, it's gonna end everything." Okay,
I'm trying to burn my shit down. Never.
Oh boy!
I'm trying to give y'all some dialogue, man.
All right. No, we're not. We will talk about this. We will talk about this once we get to it. But here, the last thing we'll do before we get into our social media promotions and stuff is I'm going to read off some stats. Okay. And you tell me which player you guys would want on your team. We have LeBron James, and this is within the first 4 games of the season. LeBron James, 22.8 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game, 6.5 assists per game, 47.1% field goal, 35.7 from 3, and that's in 4 games.
That's pretty solid.
Or Julius Randle, who has 24.8 points per game, 10.5 rebounds per game, 7.5 assists per game, 55.6% from field goal, and 69.2% from 3.
I'm taking LeBron James and LeBron James.
We already had Julius Randle, so we already.
He is playing very well.
No,
I'm taking LeBron James,
but I know he's gonna cool.
We know the end result.
I'll be honest. When we got rid of him, I was actually pissed off because we drafted him 7th overall from Kentucky, and he reminds me so much of like a better. He's not better than this player. I'm going to say, don't get me wrong, but he's the same kind of.
Who you're gonna say?
Same kind of prototype, and he's Barkley-esque.
Yeah.
Big, strong, physical. He can shoot it better than Barkley could ever. So he's Barkley-esque, but he's not Barkley. Don't get me wrong. But like he's that kind of fit. And when we got rid of him, I was kind of
because he can handle the ball too.
He can handle the ball. He's strong, like,
and I think he's southpaw. Pretty sure he's southpaw.
He lost a lot of weight.
If you watched him, in college, before he was solid in college, and then he got injured like his first game as a rookie, like his first minute he got injured. He broke his fibula or whatever he broke. And like since then he put on weight and stuff. He's been kind of get back, but now like he's training with like you know IG trainers like Drew Hammond, whatever those guys names are. Those guys, and he
looked good, man.
He looks good, man. He looks good.
That Knicks, listen, I'm not gonna say it.
The Knicks have pieces.
This team for the first time in a long time, I'm gonna say they look somewhat competitive, man.
But
the Knicks are still gonna Knicks it up.
That's what I'm saying.
They're still gonna Knicks it up.
To their defense, they only played Raptors, so it's not a great team. So not worried about it.
Wow. All right.
Social media.
So we're wrapping up, but we want to say congratulations to Becky Hammond for being the first woman to ever head coach a game. There was a lot of good responses from her from when she made that. And I think Pop has been grooming her, especially with the fact that Tim Duncan stepped away from coaching too.
Yeah,
I think
he ran away more like it, but
she's next up for sure. She's next up, and like everybody knows she's next up. Like everybody, like she's like what you say, like LeBron, like how he was like the next guy. Everyone knew he was coming.
Yeah,
like she's gonna get a head coaching job in the NBA. It's not a matter of fact if, it's just when is that gonna happen?
Yeah.
When and who? Because I also think that there's some owners that may have a thing where they're just like, yeah, I'm not going to be the first one to step out.
Oh yeah,
I do like Shannon Sharp's
time for Spurs because Popovich has been saying after the next Olympics he's walking away.
Yeah, I think it will be the Spurs, but I'm saying if it's not the Spurs, I think it'll be an issue.
But Pop also said once Tim Duncan's gone, he's gone, and here we are. So I wouldn't take what Pop says 100%. But I think if it's not the Spurs, I'm sure another. I think you're gonna tell us what Shannon said.
He said that if he was looking around the league, an owner that he would most likely bet on would be the person to give a woman the first chance, like real shot, would be Mark Cuban.
Mm-hmm.
But he said that because he has such a love for Rick Carlisle, that would if he was looking for a coach, she would be like he would give her the chance.
He is very like
open-minded.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. And last thing we want to say, this came shocking, but we want to say rest in peace to all the people that we lost last year. It was a very rough time, whether it was through social injustice, whether it was due to COVID. Nearing the very end of the year, it came out that was it the end of the year? Around the end of the year, we found out that MF Doom passed away, but that was from October. They kept it quiet for so long.
That's so crazy.
And
it's very on brand. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's very on brand for MF Doom.
Are they sure it's the real Doom? Like,
I don't know, man.
There's been rumors. There's been rumors.
Listen, that story about
it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's true.
Yeah, even personal too. Like I know some of us have had personal losses.
Yeah,
myself included. So RP, rest in power to them too.
And prayers up to everybody that's had COVID. And has successfitly beat it, because we've heard different levels of how it affected people's bodies and stuff, and some people just the effects just continue with them. So everybody's in our prayers. This is our first episode of season 2, and we're just happy to be back. I'm happy to see you guys again. It's even though we talk on the regular, but it's just not like this. Like we don't actually see each other like this. So we're appreciative of everything. And by the time you hear this, the verses will have happened. Keisha Cole and Ashanti.
Oh,
you will get to that.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
If it doesn't happen, the internet
is this still this weekend?
January 9th.
Oh, okay.
Wait, this weekend?
It would have happened last weekend. Last weekend, once this is out, but it's this weekend for once.
Yeah. What's January 9th? This Saturday?
Friday. Yo, someone needs to find Ashanti's passport and cut it up right now. Keep her in the States, bro. Jeez,
Keisha Cole too, man. Make sure.
Keisha Cole's chilling, man. Ashanti's the one that just decided to do a Carmen Sandiego world tour, talking about I don't know how I got it. Yeah, we know how, bro. The internet never forgets. We ain't forget.
My question is,
this guy's a clown.
How does Versus find that out like the day of, man?
She probably was symptoms were showing like the day of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just thought if you're gonna put two stars in the same space, you would have tested them like weeks prior. But that's just me.
Yeah, it's what it is.
So
that happens.
We will have a breakdown. And Joseph better be on the next one because we need that. Now. We need that official.
Come on,
our versus specialist.
Again, I keep saying it's not a matter of fact who's gonna win. It's just how much of the Sharky gonna win by.
Oh, whoa.
Facts.
Wow.
That's been his statement, and he's stuck to it. All right.
For one of the rare times, I agree with Coach. It's
so we reached the point of the podcast where we get our opportunity to promote anything that we're working on in our social media. So. Essay, we'll start with you.
All right, well, you all know what it is. Pro Chatterbox on my personal IG, and me and Joseph, we have our podcast, Talks with the Chatterbox. We're working on season 2. There's going to be a bit of delay. I know we were talking about mid-January, but some things are coming up. Scheduling. Honestly, I have a newfound appreciation with you guys booking guests. Because it's not easy, definitely not. So,
no.
But the one thing I will say that season 2 is definitely dropping. And it's gonna be dropping. We're gonna come out with a bang, in 2021. So be on the lookout for that. You can keep in touch on IG with @ChatterTalks or online at chattertalks.tv.
Dope. And we'll go with the other half of Talks with the Chatterbox, Joseph.
I got nothing to promote, just our podcast. We'll be back soon. We don't have an exact date yet, but like Sean was saying, we have a good season lined up. So, we're excited. We hope people tune in again. But
I don't want to do what we did with season 1 where we announced it and then 3 months
later.
No.
We're not doing that. Nah. We're no longer Talks with Procrastination. We're just
I like the fact that you changed the name. We'll go to you, Dwayne.
Just check out my Instagram, Chaz_Tenenbaum, and my Twitter, Casher10.
Dope. Coach.
Real_Francis. That's it, man. That's all new right now. Watch the Ravens game, so go Ravens.
All right. And as for me, you can always check me out on my Instagram or Twitter @the Senator. Don't forget to check out a Not So Soft podcast. We drop every Friday. Don't forget to check out my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/the Senator. SLENT_the Senator. Honestly, we changed up how Sunday Night Live is going to be done now because of COVID and all the restrictions. So it's going to start on my page, and then we're going to raid Dilly's page, and then Dilly's going to raid SL. So if you start with me, you don't even have to turn it off. You just keep it running, and you get 5-6 hours of music, just straight DJ. So make sure to
I just have one more quick shout out.
Yeah.
When you're finished.
Okay, no worries. Don't forget to check out the Chatroom Podcast on Instagram, the.chatroompod. Don't forget to follow our YouTube channel. And if you have any takes or if you have any ideas of what we can do to better improve it, send it to our email, thechatroompod@gmail.com. And Dwayne.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say once again, thank you so much to Cabby. He was on his Instagram live 2 nights ago, and he shouted us out. So just thank you very much again, Kevin. We really appreciated having you on the show with us.
Legend of Awkward, yeah.
We gotta. The one thing I want in 2021, and I'm hoping that we can make this happen. It's more kind of on myself and Coach. Is we need one where we're all in person. Because I think the energy level on that one will be completely different too. Like we do an amazing job right now using technology to our advantage to record all of these. But us in the same room, like how we used to do back in the day, I feel like that podcast would be a whole nother vibe. You know what I mean? So
I'm sure we could set up a little room somewhere where everyone's COVID friendly and we could just do something.
There'll be a few studios I could reach out to and stuff like that too. So we'll have one pair of boxing gloves. Someone has to use the left hand, someone will use the right.
I also got one more thing to say too.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this episode's been a pretty good episode. We've been kind of friendly and we've been kind of like buddy because it's the first one back. It's my first one back. Going forward, I'm coming for everybody's head top. I'm saying that from right now, especially you, Coach. I'm coming for you. You gotta be ready, man. I'm serious, man. 2021.
I'm on the phone.
He's gotta be more fiery, man. I like y'all. I love y'all. So I'm warning y'all in advance. Going forward, everybody's head top.
There's some rivalries I've been waiting to see play out, and I think 2021 will be the year when it happens. I think.
I forget that guarantee video.
Okay. Talk that shit.
Like I've been trying to find out all the matchups to tell you the truth, but I think for sure it will have to be SA and Coach. I'm putting Dewayne against Joseph because there was that one episode when there was a little too spicy on there, and I was like, okay, let's see this happen.
Okay, let's go.
Y'all don't want me to wake up. The sleeper will wake up. You don't want it.
Eat some chicken curry before you come out here.
No, don't do that.
I told you, man. Head tops.
And honestly, shout out to Rob, shout out to Jermaine, shout out to MJ. Even though they're not here on this episode, we know that they'll be with us within the next couple of episodes, and that's when the spicy takes will definitely improve. So we want to wish everyone again a happy New Year's. I'm hoping 2021 is treating you better than 2020, and we have all of our listeners in our thoughts as every day goes on, so keep us in yours. And this has been the Chatroom Podcast, your favorite baller's favorite podcast, and we are out. Peace.